Hey there, sports fans. I'm Amulya, and we'll be talking NBA basketball on Shooty Hoops. Our first video is on the burning topic in barbershops across America today. Will the Lakers make the playoffs this season? Having signed LeBron last summer, the Lakers proceeded to surround him with some interesting and dicey pieces. Barring two signings, they've had to endure a rough season so far as LeBron sat 20 games out with a groin injury he suffered against the Warriors. Right now, they're owners of a 30-33 record and are 4 losses behind the Clippers in the race for the 8th seed. Recent losses to the Pelicans, Grizzlies and the Torrid Suns have turned the pressure up even higher. A glance at their basic stats shows that the youngsters are carrying a heavy load alongside LeBron, mainly because their other role players have been in and out of the lineup with injuries all season long. Even though everyone knows LeBron is the best player on the planet, it could take more than just him being in playoff mode for them to make it to the playoffs this season. He'll probably have to average a 30-point triple-double over the remaining 6 weeks. His defensive intensity is back right up on full throttle, but it'll take the likes of Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo and the rest of the squad to play their roles to perfection. To figure out their ceiling and how good their chances really look at the moment, let's take a look at each of their rotation players' skill sets and how that adds up to LeBron's impact on the team's fortunes. A glance at Kuzma's stats shows that he's a scorer capable of getting buckets from the paint, the mid-range and the long range on his day, but his percentages betray his obvious scope for improvement. His Achilles heel is his defense. The sophomore does not have good defense at all. He makes the wrong reads too often and is a target for screening actions by opposition offenses. While he's mobile enough in a straight line, his lateral speed and his slow-footedness make him a weak link in their defense.
Sick and he's spitting fire and Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a fucking nihilist porcupine. He's a prick, he's a cockpit type.
However, LeBron can find use for him as a designated second scorer.
Now the record we should notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, this shit is equally dope.
Kuzma is fearless at attacking the paint and has a wide variety of finishes around the rim. He's great in transition and can be the microwave scorer, keeping the bench unit in the game. He's also a willing passer and is often responsible for some delicious team buckets. Brandon Ingram is the most intriguing prospect on the Lakers squad right now. His 3-ball could do with some improvement, but he's an efficient mid-range scorer, taking 48% of his shots from this range. Ingram is one of the most versatile defenders on the Lakers roster. With his 7'3" wingspan, he's able to sack farther off shooters without losing the ability to contest. He's held his own against some of the best ISO scorers in the league, and he's an enthusiastic team defender also. Ingram makes his bread and butter with pull-up jump shots from the mid-range, but he's also pretty great at using his explosiveness and length to get past his primary defender and into the paint. The long boy is an excellent finisher when he's not doubled, and he's able to adjust mid-air while doing so. But he's still very skinny right now, and he gets bodied by the bigger centers in the league. Often, he has to contort his way to a finish that is off balance. When his jumper is on, Ingram is a treat to watch, as he was against the Bucks last week. Lakers Nation would hope that he rounds out the season in his current form, where he's averaging 23 points on 56.5% shooting from the field through the last 15 games. The stat sheet you're looking at right now does not reflect how crucial the number 2 pick from the 2017 NBA draft is to the Lakers' playoff hopes. Lonzo Ball is a top 5 perimeter defender in the league today, often acting as a one-man fast break stopper. He's got an uncanny knack for swiping the ball away from the very best in the business, and he's able to effectively lock down up to 3 positions. As a man-to-man defender, he truly is second to no one in the league. He's also a cheat code in transition, able to see several moves ahead and make the pocket pass, alley-oop pass or the kick-out 3 through a thimble. Lonzo rarely ever holds on to the ball for longer than a couple of seconds and is a pretty quick decision maker. Zoe is the heart and soul of the Lakers and by far their most proactive two-way player. This pass to Chandler is a snapshot of how talented the playmaker is. His scoring comes mostly as a spot-up shooter or on the break. His frail upper body, limited ball handling moves, and inability to finish through contact or knock down free throws limit his offensive effectiveness. Rounding out their young core is Josh Hart, who soaked up the highest minutes tally of their 3-and-D specialists. While his 3-point percentage is down this season, Hart is a low-usage player on offense. He's an enthusiastic off-ball player, setting screens and making cuts when he can. He has enough draw as a spot-up shooter to keep defenses honest, but the bulk of his scoring usually comes from fast breaks or cuts. Hart is a stout defender who takes pride on his efforts at that end, and he's usually adequate as a primary point guard defender on the team. Like Ingram and Zoe, he's got good team defensive instincts and even acts as a rim protector when he's put in such a position. It's usually not a good decision for the opposition to pass it to a big man when Hart is guarding him. A recurring theme so far has been the lack of shooting on their roster. Their best shooter apart from Reggie Bullock, ironically, is Rajon Rondo, who is historically a non-shooter. The rest of the starting five is at league average or below from range, and the Lakers eschew three-pointers when they can. KCP and Josh Hart, who both shot 39% last season, are shooting below league average. To top it off, they're all terrible free throw shooters, making them the worst free throw shooting team in the league. JaVale McGee, who's been on the bench of late, is the best big man option the Lakers have right now. While his offense is pretty good, McGee is an average rim protector with poor timing and instincts on his short contests. In the best case scenario, McGee will be an offensive force from the pick and roll, crash the glass enthusiastically, and raise the Lakers' tempo when he sees the floor. Backing him up in the big man role is Tyson Chandler, who will mostly be valuable on the other end of the floor. At 36, Chandler is still a plus defender and a good paint defender, bringing valuable veteran experience down the stretch. Another veteran on the team whose championship pedigree needs to be unlocked is Rajon Rondo. The former Celtics point guard was brought in to back up Lonzo, but has been the default starter for a few days now in his absence. His best defensive days are gone, but Rondo still has all-time court vision and already has a game winner against my beloved Celtics to his name. The Lakers' first choice 3-and-D option will be Reggie Bullock, who started his career off with the Pistons last season basically. He will be the primary target of LeBron's kick-out passes to the corners and to the wings, and his fast release and ability to shoot stably while being closely guarded will be tested a lot in the last 19 games of the season. He was the second best 3-point shooter by percentage last season through the league and is again an elite shooter this season. KCP is the Lakers' other 3-and-D wing. An above average defender, Caldwell-Pope is also a fast break threat and can also put the ball on the floor when required to. He's a pretty good slasher and can occasionally be entrusted ball handling responsibilities. His inconsistency has been his bane this season, but locked in, KCP is a weapon the Lakers need to bank on these 19 games. Rounding out their roster is their biggest X factor, Make-em Dance Lance. While he led the league in triple-doubles not long back, Stephenson is the most inconsistent player who is also capable of winning them a couple of playoff games. The Lakers' bid ultimately depends on how the Kings and the Clippers perform. Playing the toughest schedule remaining of any team in playoff contention, their fate is no longer in their hands now. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to like, comment and subscribe to Shooty Hoops if you like this video.